Awesome. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to, this is your first comms training, I believe. Today, we're gonna look into InDesign and opening up your templates, any other InDesign documents that you guys might have or might be trying to build something new off of, or just make edits to an old one. I know you guys use a lot of use InDesign a lot for your report designs and your technical briefs and all that good stuff. So we're gonna start with opening up the InDesign documents, and then I'm gonna show you how to save them into a way that's easy for other people to open them up and edit them. And then we will work on transporting those into a different format that would be a lot easier to edit. InDesign is a pretty big program and it's not super user-friendly, so it does take a little bit of time to learn how to use it. But there are more accessible ways to edit these documents, which I'm excited to share with you guys. Just a show of hands. Do people have InDesign, or were you guys able to access it and open it up?
So we all share one license among all Bantwana people. And so I'd sent kind of like a, not so much a warning, but like a let's see what kind of happens type of message earlier.
Okay.
So I don't know that we'll all be able to be on it at the same time right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Well, if one person wants to get on, I mean, you can try and get on. If you can't, it's totally fine. You can just watch me do it. We actually won't be doing a bunch in InDesign itself. It'll just be like how to save and just the language that you guys want to look for if you're doing it yourself. But yeah, I will share my screen so you can just follow along with me. If you can or want to, I'd recommend opening up InDesign if you're able to. Did everybody get the files that Brian sent out? Okay, I'm just gonna charge ahead. If you guys have any questions, just unmute yourselves and shout at me, and I can stop and go back and all that good stuff. So I've got my InDesign open, and I'm gonna open the file that Brian attached in his email. So I think it was the Better Outcomes one pager. So we're gonna start there. Just hit open. Okay, so it's gonna, this happens a lot more often than not, that it says that it's containing missing links. And what that means is just that the source of the pictures and the icons and the fonts aren't downloaded on your computer. So in a sense, it's missing for InDesign. We'll go ahead. I don't have the pictures, which is okay. And a lot of the times we don't have those, which is fine. So we'll hit okay and we'll go ahead and I'll show you what it looks like when we don't have these links. They call them links in here, but it doesn't really link to anything. It's just as a way, the way that they describe it. So again, here are missing fonts that were used in this template originally, but I don't have downloaded on my computer, and you guys probably won't either. At this point, you can replace them with a font that you already have. So I love, let's do, so these are the missing ones, and we'll replace it with this one that I have. I don't know why it's not registering, but we'll do that and we'll hit done. So you see we've got these obviously missing pictures. Zoom in a little bit so we can see. And let's see what the font is. Yeah, so the font that is in there now is that one that I replaced it with. But you could, from here, take any font you like and just kind of go crazy, whatever you want to do. We're not going to work on editing in InDesign today. Maybe that can be a different training. Oops. So you see, we've got our missing links. If you click them, nothing shows up. Got our links tab. I can't find it, but essentially we're missing a bunch of stuff, which again is fine. You could, these look like they were supposed to be logos. So you could just replace the logos, put your new pictures in there, but you've got like the general template of the document with the text and the colors and the general layout, even though it's missing a couple things.
Milana, hi, I have a question. This is Christine.
Yes.
Yeah. Breaking the silence here. So is it better for us to try to replace the photos within InDesign before we export it to Publisher, or is it fine to wait until we get it into Publisher and import them there, which might be easier?
So it will probably be better to import to Publisher or to Word, actually, I would recommend, and we'll get there next. Yeah, it's kind of confusing to replace them in here. Again, InDesign isn't super user-friendly, so I think it'll be easier to edit it all once we get somewhere else. I want to show you a small example of what it looks like when, actually, let's try packaging. So this is a way to save your InDesign files to avoid this when people open them up. Like if you're sending it to someone that's new and just starting, or you sharing it with a designer like me, and this is the best way to do it. So we will open up one of the recent ones that I've been working in. Okay, so we've got no missing links, all our pictures, all our icons, all laid out. So let's say you're all set here. What you're gonna do is hit File, come down to Package. And essentially what this does is just creates a folder of your InDesign file. It creates a PDF. It puts all the pictures and all the fonts in there as well. So all you have to do is send all that info, have them download the file, and it'll show up as is. So this is all good. You hit Package. I'll put this on my desktop so I can find it. Or this. Okay, great. And so it just created a nice little folder for me. Again, we've got the PDF version, opens right up. InDesign folder or InDesign files, the fonts that were included, and the links. This is helpful if you're sharing with a designer that is familiar in InDesign. If you were to package this one, it would show up with no links. It probably would include the fonts that you included, but no images because there's no images in the actual file. But I will show you guys now how we can edit this in Word, and then we'll do Publisher.
Milana, question.
Yes.
While you're moving towards that, so when I sent you that Bocce one-pager InDesign file, it on my end, when I pulled it from the K drive and whatever, it has all those images there that are missing and logos. It's on the file for my end. So is there a way that we should be like, was that not the correct way to share an InDesign file via email as an attachment because then it corrupted something?
No. So it's not the way that you sent it. It's because I don't have those images on my computer itself. So when I open up InDesign, it kind of searches through your computer and look for where the image is, where the original source is. But because I don't have that, it's gonna show up as blank, which is why, if possible, you should do the package that I just showed you. And then you can send that folder. What I'll usually do is upload that folder, this one that we just packaged together, into Google Drive, and I'll share that with people.
The way you did it for the other. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Because without all of, like, I would need to download these onto my computer.
Okay.
It just needs to be like locally available on your own device.
Okay.
I have a quick question. I know we have one license for InDesign. Does anybody, design stuff on InDesign? I mean, like, or would do we ever use it? I mean, or is it? I mean, or is it more that like designers like Milana, they send stuff to us in that, and we can tweak and edit in those documents?
I think it's typically the designers that use
Yeah.
them.
Okay.
I don't like remember anyone.
I know Kayla and Caroline, I think a couple people went and got training on InDesign, but I think that those folks have moved on.
Yeah, I think we've usually copied a template and then tried to fill it with InDesign. There was something interesting, but I don't think any of us have really created. Oh, there you go. Simone has. So. Yeah.
Great. Well, this method is kind of just for people working directly in InDesign. I'm gonna show you how we can edit the templates in Word and Publisher, which you actually don't even need InDesign to do this. But I will show you how we'll use this one. But I will show you like beginning to end, even though this first step you guys might not typically be doing. You'll probably just be receiving the PDF from a designer. And have the template in PDF format, which I know you guys typically do. So for PDF, we'll use this one with the missing links. We can export. So we're going to export this as an interactive PDF. We'll put this on my desktop as well. Hit save. Make sure you have all pages. Again, this might not apply to people that aren't working directly in InDesign, but if you are, this is helpful. Make sure you're all. If you just want to do a couple, you can do that too, ranges. And I usually just leave all this stuff as the default settings. And then I hit export. Just click through, ignore the missing links. And now we have it in a PDF format. We can't really edit this super well. There is an edit button on Adobe Acrobat, but I don't find it's really difficult and the fonts don't match up and it's just very confusing. So next, you will use this PDF to export to Word. So we'll go here, File, Export, Microsoft Word document. Again, just hit save. And it'll automatically open up. So from here, we see everything is pretty much editable.
I have another question for you, Milana.
Yes.
So can you import any PDF into Word like this, or is it just the interactive PDF files?
How do you
know the difference?
I think both can do it. So an interactive PDF is one where there's maybe a link to a website. You can click something and it'll open up your Chrome or Internet Explorer, whatever you're using. So it's interactive in that way. That's the only difference if you have like an active link. I think that just is automatically what I have it set to, because a lot of the times there are those links. If you do it inactive, it won't even open everything up. But I do believe you can export things to Word.
Okay, that's great.
PDFs to Word, which is actually really cool. And I didn't know you could do that until I started looking into this for you guys. So as you can see, it is a little different in terms of the font, but in terms of like accessibility and able to edit this, I think that that's a pretty good trade. You can go ahead and edit just how you would normally in Word. We can take out these images and insert a new one. Again, which I feel like most people are okay with just making quick edits in Word. So it's a little tricky again, but it's just a case of playing around with it and moving things around, and just replacing things, changing titles. So when I would say this is the best way to edit an existing document. Like maybe you just need to make a couple changes on the numbers, or switch out an image. You got a better picture that you want to replace it with. This is going to be the quickest way to do it, rather than trying to find someone that can get into InDesign just for minor changes. For publisher. So publisher is a little trickier. So to get to the publisher version, you actually have to have this Word document set up already. So you have to go through all the steps of the PDF to the Word, and then you can do publisher. So what you're going to do is you open it up. Say we'll just open up a new thing. You're going to hit File. And then you're going to open. We're going to browse, and we'll find that Word document. So you want to open up the Word document of the version that you just opened. We hit open. So we have to save and close out first. Can't be in use already. Okay, let's try again. Desktop. We've got our Word document. We hit open, and then it automatically converts it. So on the other side, we were using Adobe to export into Word, but on this version, you're going directly into Publisher, and it does it for you. So you can see this is it's very different than both the InDesign file and the Word document and the PDF. Something happens when you export to Publisher. I think it's because it's doing it automatically, that it shifts around the entire thing. You've still got your blocks that are missing. It's easier to drag for sure than Word, but it's a little bit more legwork, I would say, to try and get it back into that format. You see what I mean? Like it's very different. Again, yep.
Sorry. So what are the benefits then of working in Publisher? And it seems to me that we would just want to work in Word.
Yeah, I would say definitely work in Word. I just wanted to show you this to show that it's possible. People had asked about Publisher, and I looked into it, but this is kind of the extent that you can do it. Word is definitely the best option. I wouldn't even bother coming. It's confusing and it's all jumbled, and it doesn't even look like it anymore. So
another question, a little off the subject, but if we wanted to create a new document, and try our best to design a nice looking document, obviously if we had something pre-existing, we could use the template in Word by doing what you just showed us. But is Publisher something for like InDesign for Dummies sort of thing, like easy entry level to kind of go in and try to design a document?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think Publisher is definitely better for designing than Word is. You can put it in Word, but it just is a little harder.
Very clunky, yeah.
I don't really use Publisher, if to be 100% honest, so I'm not an expert in it. But I can't get this screen sharing thing out of the way. But you have your text box tool. It is pretty much like a simplified InDesign. You can draw your text boxes, type text in that way, format them. I think that's what it thinks this is. So yeah, you can play around in here and try and design something in Publisher as well. You can, again, do it in Word. I recently did a report for someone pretty much all in Word. So it's not impossible, and you can do that without even having to touch InDesign and make something that looks nice and polished without having to go in there. And then Yep, you can use your templates as well. If you have a template, even better. So like things like these lines, if you don't really know how to figure it out in here, it's good just to have it here. You can copy and paste it and put it wherever, if that makes sense. How are we feeling? Was anyone following along and got stuck on a step? Any questions? Anything else like me to go into? I might open up the Word. Let's try. I'll show you what this will look like in Word. So see, now we have like a nice little template and everything stays in the same place, which is incredible, actually.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to start using this because I actually had no idea you could do this, and it's very helpful.
This is, yeah, just, it's amazing how simple the solution is, and
Right.
you know about it. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. So tell me something, Milana. You don't have to then save it back into InDesign. You can just always keep working on it in Word.
Yeah, yeah. Now you have a whole new world.
Wow.
And you don't even have to touch InDesign or think about it. This can be your central document if that's what you want.
And all those icons and pictures, are they individual elements that you could copy and paste them into some other document? Oh, they are. Okay.
Yep, definitely. These are all pictures that like I found and just placed in there, copy and paste them. All these little design elements are here. This one is a little tricky. Oh, yeah, so it does move around. So you can, it's connected to a lot of stuff, which you can get around by ungrouping maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so everything is full and pastable. Same thing here. So yeah, I'm not, I think you can replace the image as well. You might just have to insert a new one, but yeah. Does that make sense for everyone? Any other questions?
This almost seems simple. It just, yeah, after I've been struggling for months with an InDesign file. This is great.
Yeah, it's really handy.
I'm just practicing opening up that ECD tech brief and saving it and seeing if I can open it up in Word.
If you want, I could also type up just a quick list of the instructions just to get it to Word. Just so
that'd be great.
Yeah, because like sometimes it's export and sometimes it's save as, so it might be easier if I just I can write out some steps for you guys as well.
That would be great because we can share it obviously widely.
Right, yeah, of course.
Milana, quick question on,
Yes.
say like we're updating this file and some of our stats and numbers have changed, and like on the first page, some of our logos and pictures we're using are like percentages.
Mm-hmm.
Would like the best way to, like if that baby one, if that changed to like 60%, would the best way to fix that just be like in a Photoshop or?
Oh, to like fix the little baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did this in Photoshop.
Okay.
Yeah, so to edit it, you would need it.
Just change that fill. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think what I did originally was, or I'm not sure if I even did this one, but how you would do it is you would draw a line just kind of wherever you want the line to go and kind of separate pieces and then fill it in with the color that you want.
Sure, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Cool.
Thank you.
Of course.
So Milana, I just tried to do it in my the thing that I opened it in Word, and it's not beautiful and perfect the way it is on your screen. So maybe I was supposed to import it.
Was it this one or was it,
ECD, the ECD tech brief.
oh,
So is it open with?
did you, it should open automatically like that. Did you use the PDF?
So I opened the ECD tech brief and saved it to my computer. That's the one, just normally. I didn't save it in any special way. Maybe that's
Okay.
what I didn't do.
Do you know what file it was? There's a couple of different files in the folder. Let me show you.
It just says ECD tech brief.pdf.
This one right here.
Yes.
Okay, do you want to share your screen and I can take a look?
Which part do you want to see of my screen? What I'm doing or what it looks like?
The PDF, just so I can make sure you're exporting the right way.
All right, hold on. Let me
Sure.
go back to that.
If you have a PDF file, I was just gonna say you don't need to have the package stuff and all.
Right. So can you see my screen?
Yes, I do.
So this is the folders. These are the folders that Brian shared.
Mhm.
So I went in and I opened this up
Yep,
and then I downloaded it to my computer.
perfect. Is it that one down at the bottom?
Oh, here, this is why. So I saved it there. And then, sorry, it's hard because I can't see all my bars. All right, so then I go where I saved it. And then I just, do I open it or here or do I, yeah, I
You
open
can
it,
put
right?
here. Perfect.
All right, and then,
From there, you're gonna go to File. Oh, one sec. Is it File?
convert to words, there it is, okay.
Okay. Yep, so click on that.
Export to Word.
See, you actually have a different Adobe than me. Mine says export to, but some of you guys might have what Christine has.
Aha! And then they want me to pay for something.
There it is. So maybe you
Doubles in the
have to
deep
have
end.
that
Are you
too.
on the right, are you on your personal computer, Christine? Because when I did it, I got the export to on Adobe and it worked, but it was different. It was the same that Milana had, but not what you have.
I'm
Hey,
on
you
my
don't
work
have-
computer. I mean,
I don't think you have Adobe Pro downloaded on your computer, Christine.
Hmm.
Because we all have the license for that, right, through WorldNet.
Yeah, it's the same, like InDesign, Adobe Pro, all that's like under the same, under
do.
Adobe Suite. Yeah.
But you might have to request the license. Not everybody has it just on their computers.
Yeah.
Like I had to ask with IT to get a license for the Adobe that you can actually do some editing of PDFs.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I just logged on. Yeah, when I downloaded Adobe Pro, I had to just log on to Adobe Creative Cloud with our Bantwana login information and then just load it. Yeah, so I guess we should try to get some clearer guidance
so
on
I'm going to stop sharing. All right. So, I mean, did you have to download or get access, get a license for Adobe Pro or?
I feel like I always had it on my computer.
Huh.
I think I don't remember asking for it, so maybe just we'll set it up.
Do other
Just
people,
talk to
Obadiah,
IT.
maybe you can try it. Folks that are new, see if you have the issues. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I have an older version of things. The computer's about a year old. It's not that old.
So that's really strange, actually. I would just shoot, if anybody else is having similar problems as well, just shoot the web team an email and they should be able to set you up with a license to, maybe not for like InDesign and everything, because I think that costs more, but at least
Right.
be Pro at that export feature.
Would that be help desk, or who would I reach out to for that?
That would be, I want to say help desk.
Yeah.
They set me up at the very, very beginning, like when I first started.
Okay.
So long ago, I do not remember.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be really good to know, Obadiah and Garrett, because you guys are a little newer, if you guys have the same problem, because we're going to send this, the instructions out to everybody, and if they're going to have the same, it'd be good to just know if it's preloaded or not on those people's.
Yeah, no, I got the same thing, Christine, the paywall. So I'm
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, same here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So for now, I would say email help desk and they can at least the right person. If you guys are coming into something where you need that export feature and you don't have it yet, just shoot me an email and I'm happy to do it for you. It takes like a couple seconds. So in the meantime, but hopefully they can get that set up for you guys.
Okay.
Any other questions? Was everyone able to export unless you had the paywall?
Yes, from PDF. But just to go to InDesign, from there, you're hitting the package button so that you get everything, and then you use that PDF that
Yes.
automatically generates, right? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
No matter if the document is in spreads or pages, what's the best way? For Word, it's better to do pages.
Yeah, I think Pages is the best, although I think Spreads is just one of InDesign's like random words. I think it means the same thing kind of. I think Spreads is just 2 pages next to each other, but
Right.
ends up being transported into Word. It should split it back up into Pages. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Okay.
But I would, yeah, stick to Pages if you can.
Yeah, thanks.
Mhm.
It sounds, folks, like we may be coming towards the end of this of our time with Milana. So I'm just going to ask you guys to not be shy about any questions, because we do have some time left. Any questions? If you want to walk through anything the way that I just did with Milana, and also, what would be? Do you feel the need for a next like 2.0 type training in this kind of area of skills, like with regard to perhaps setting up a document or designing a document, or I think we were talking about that, Milana, like doing just sort of a nuts and bolts of considerations around good design. But again, I'm not wanting to push anything on anybody if you don't feel the need for it. So I'm just inviting you all to have a voice here and share what you need. And if you're fine and this is good, that's great too.
I do have one question. I don't know, this might be just a simple one. Do we have Photoshop too, along with Adobe and all that? Is that kind of included in like our full software packages? Because I've been using some of my own stuff free, but it's not Photoshop.
Yeah, we have. Well, it's in our creative. It's all in our creative cloud account.
Okay.
Sorry, Brian. So it's on all of our computers, or you have to get a license for it?
Our creative cloud account. So you just need to log in using our license credentials on Adobe Creative Cloud. And then once you log in there, you see all of the different Adobe apps like Photoshop, InDesign, Adobe Pro, and then you can download what you need from there, and then it's just on your computer. The application is on your computer from there on out, but you have to sometimes, because we all share a license, log in, you know, and kick someone off when you need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Which we
it
all
just-
do, like every day on Adobe. Like anytime you log into Adobe, you just kick off the person who used it least recently.
So we have on our little mini comms training schedule, Milana has offered to do a training on basics of Photoshop. I think you did, right, Milana? I think did you talk about that?
Yeah. I can do InDesign as well if people are interested.
Yeah. So that's coming down the pike, and I'm thinking, Brian, you know, in advance of that training, that we should probably send out a link to the Creative Cloud, you know, so that folks can download the software onto their computer to have it in advance of the training. And similarly, when we follow up from this training and send out maybe the cheat sheet that Milana is going to write for us and the recording, we might also send out a link to that. Well, I guess, I'm sorry, I was going to say a link to the Creative Cloud to access Adobe Pro, but that's not how you can access Adobe Pro. But let people know that they'd have to request a license from help desk, just to close the loop on all of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I would like to first maybe like test it out with Obadiah and Garrett to see if we don't have to actually be requesting a license. Maybe we do, but that's not clear to me, because what I know is just to be able to go into Creative Cloud, log in with our stuff, our license credentials, and then download. But yeah, so let's definitely test that out and then figure out what the best way is to approach getting everyone, the applications that they need from it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean, Brian. Like they should just be able to log in to Bantwana Creative Cloud using the login and then download Adobe Pro even from there, and then they should be okay.
Right, exactly. But I think what Liz Allen was saying was that her experience was having to just even herself, I guess, get access to or get permission to be able to use the credentials for that login.
Okay.
I did, but that might not be the only option. That was just what, it was
Right.
a proposal and I really needed it. And so I asked and got a separate license, but if it's possible to access it on the shared account or to download it from the shared account, that would be a better option. So I'm assuming there's at least a small cost along with each individual license.
Oh, you got a separate one from our Bantwana shared one.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, most were.
Probably was. I think it. Yeah.
I emailed IT and said, please help me get
Urgent.
something that allows me to edit a PDF, and they did.
Right. Got it.
But,
Yeah.
Brian, you're saying that if you log into our Creative Cloud, you can download InDesign?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's asking for you to pay, I don't know, $21, something like that, even when you're logged
really?
in.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I think we need to check that. I don't know. Yeah, probably we need additional licenses or something like that. But someone else is already logged in, so I don't know.
Yeah. So no, I'll definitely check it out. And I will let everyone know.
Well, I will type up a little cheat sheet of just the steps that we ran through, including packaging, just in case you guys end up needing that. Any other questions, requests? Would like a deep dive into InDesign be helpful for people, or do you think Word is just okay for editing?
So what I was gonna add before was that I think we do have a lot of great InDesign templates that already exist, like on the K drive, for any sorts of like technical briefs or one pagers we've created in the past. And so it seems like we already do have a lot of sort of like templates to work with for, exporting into Microsoft Word and then just manipulating text and whatever. But like how, when we were just looking at that one in Microsoft Word before, Milana, like some of the elements were connected to one another. And so when you tried to move it, like the others would move. So I could just see that being like stressful for people, like when they're, on like deadline trying to manipulate something they thought they'd be able to do in Word, but then they're realizing what they actually probably need to do is like do some elemental manipulation. I don't know, whatever you call it, in InDesign. So maybe like basics of design in InDesign, or
Yeah, and maybe Word as well, because I found Word to be kind of tricky with it takes a while to kind of get the hang of it. So like some stuff like that can be really frustrating in there. So maybe we can do like one half of just like the basic InDesign movements, and same thing with how to fix common issues in Word as well.
yeah, I think that'd be helpful.
Yeah, definitely, Armin. We can, definitely do that in InDesign as well, manipulating text and the images.
Sorry to bring back the conversation really quickly to a creative lab. Obadiah, did you log in? I just want to double check. Did you log in with your World Education login credentials that you would on like your Gmail or computer, or did you use the Bantwana at World Education?
I'm using Bantwana World Aid. I
Okay.
can log out if you want to log in. Let me log out.
No, I'm in it also.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's saying I can get it, the app, for no
Interesting.
additional, But I don't know, we'll have to look into it.
Maybe only one person could be logged in to do that, to access that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
So actually, Milana, are you available? I don't know if we're changing the time on you now. I can't remember. To do the publisher training. I'm sorry, the Photoshop training next Friday, May 28th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's good.
I think we had to switch some things around. So this is just a early advertisement to those of you on the call that next week's training will be on with Milana on Photoshop, and we'll be sending around information on that.
Sounds good.
Before we have that training, Brian, will you be able to confirm whether we actually have access to Photoshop?
Yeah, I will. So I'm either gonna, I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna like try to triage first, like in-house with people who are having issues to see if we can solve it, like, on our own. And then if it's looking like it's still asking people to pay or something crazy like that, I guess we'll have to reach out to help desk and ask them, what the deal is. But yes, short answer, yes, for me.
Great, thank you.
All right. Well, this was a great just sort of entree into starting to learn some new areas in comms, and was really a valuable use of my time, frankly. So thank you, Milana. Really, thank you so much for planning it for us and for walking us through this.
Happy to help. Again, if you guys need any help with exporting to Word while your license is pending or whatever's going on, just send me an email and I can help out wherever possible.
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
Thanks so much, Milana.
Thanks,
Right.
guys.
Have a good
Really
weekend,
appreciate it.
everybody.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.